I was already starting to have doubts because of some back end information that I was getting. But after hearing her say this, it's time I call her out. I don't believe you anymore, Kim. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions, and today we're going to talk about WSU mom Kim. Now, most of you guys know that whenever Kim first came out, I wasn't really quite understanding all the hate that she was getting. Her story to me sounded very believable, and the main reason was because of all of the things that law enforcement had told us. Not only out of their mouths, but there was also a part of the PCA that made her story to me very believable. Now, not only did law enforcement tell us that there were people already there whenever they got to the scene, that the roommates summoned friends over before calling 911, they also told us multiple people talked to dispatch that morning. And we also know from the PCA that Brian Koberger went back to the scene between like 9 and 9:30 and hung around for like 10 or 12 minutes. Those are the main reasons why part of what Kim was telling to the world seemed very, very possible to me. And we're going to get into the PCA reasoning later on in another video. It's actually a subject that I want to bring out on its own. So right now we're just going to stick to Kim because, and I know a lot of people believe Kim and a lot of people want to believe Kim because she comes up on these panels and she gets all emotional and she's spreading this story. But honestly, it's the exact same script every time. We are in the middle of summer. We've already had a Thanksgiving and a Christmas pass after these victims were taken. I've heard her state, that's an empty table at Thanksgiving. That's a missing stocking on Christmas. Literally like 50 times. She has the exact same script. And at first I was like, okay, she's just trying to keep to her story. But whenever you're repeating stuff like that, missing Christmas stocking, is somebody not going to be sitting at the Thanksgiving table, those aren't facts. That has nothing to do with this entire situation. It's just a bunch of fluff. And a lot of what she says is a bunch of fluff. Melissa Jade is so great at asking questions. She really, really is. And she was doing a live the other day, and WSU Kim gets in the chat, starts acting like she knows everything, and then basically is like demanding Melissa to like drop the link for StreamYard so that she could come up. Melissa never asked for this. She never asked for this. I'm going to drop the link in the description box for those of you who do want to go back and listen to this entire ridiculously bullshit conversation with Kim. She finally gets up there and she starts doing the exact same routine song and dance that she does with every creator. Oh, I respect you. I think you're so good. I just love you. You ask all the good questions. Melissa was asking her about her daughter being contacted prior to the 911 call. And I've been mentioning this in Dago's channel for a while that I feel like the communication type has changed throughout the life of this story. In the beginning, I remember it being some sort of like text message. And then it was a phone call. And this phone call was directly from the girlfriend of Jack D's alibi, according to Kim. That is a personal phone call. That is a one-on-one phone call. And once she said it was a phone call, I've been asking for a few months now if Kim was around when said phone call happened, because it was supposed to be around 10 a.m. And according to Kim, they picked up her kids around like 8 o'clock that morning and spent a few hours doing like restock shopping on their groceries and things that they needed before they left back out of town to drop, parents' weekend would be over. Which would mean to me at 10 o'clock in the morning, if your daughter's really getting this phone call, you would have noticed her walking away to take said call, or you would have seen her on the phone. You'd have heard the conversation. Well, when I asked that question finally and she saw it, it changed from it being a phone call to it now being a group snap message. The same way that we had the group snap messages come out in Dave's story. That's not at all what Kim was originally stating. Now, I know some people might remember that being what Kim originally stated, but I have spoken to several people that have talked to Kim and covered Kim, and they remember it the way that I'm remembering it. That the communication form has changed as her story has evolved. You can prove a text message, you can prove a phone call, but according to the way this case is going, you can't prove a Snapchat. So all of a sudden, it's a Snapchat message. Okay? Now, most of you know how heavy she has gone on about this crap. But she tells Melissa Jade in this live, she has never once put her eyes on these messages. She has never once seen what her daughter is apparently telling her. Not only has Kim never seen these so-called messages, she also blatantly says that not only did she refuse to let the police speak to her 22-year-old adult daughter, like she's got a choice, Miss Ma'am, that's an adult, you don't have any say, but she also stated that her kid refused to sign the statement for the cops. I'm sorry, but as a mother, if that would have been me and my kid, what do you mean? Show me now. Send me a screenshot. I want to see exactly what this message said. And if it was the same day that 911 was called, or even if it was the next day, you should have been able to produce that screenshot. So not only has she not physically seen these so-called messages that she is pushing out there in a very strong way, they refuse to sign a police statement, which means that everything that she is telling us is not filed in the case file because there's no signed statements. So her story just doesn't add up to me anymore. I really wanted to keep believing the basis, but I just can't. I can't. And I've already, for the past few weeks, kind of already been slipping off of the Kim train. So honestly, I don't know what she was thinking getting up on Melissa's live, because she should have known that Melissa was going to go in. And that's how she finally got this from Kim, that Kim has never seen these messages. How are you going to be out here trying to claim that this is so real, so real, so real? You've never seen it, and we're supposed to just believe that these are things your daughter is saying to you. But your 22-year-old adult daughter is not out here validating anything that you have to say. And she sits there and claims that she got a signed Idaho statement. Miss Ma'am, if you have not signed a sworn statement and your daughter is refusing to tell the cops the truth and she's not producing any proof, you were not assigned an officer. And then she wants to sit here and try to blame this officer for some of the things that she has rudely said about the wounds and the injuries. Let me tell you the reason why I started really questioning Kim. It's been a couple weeks now. And this is related to a subject that I'm going to be covering later. Some of you guys know about the Brat Norton issues. Well, this situation involves Little Miss Brat Norton and WSU KIM. Now, someone in Brat Norton's little group sent someone, a fellow creator, a photo. Kim was also shown this photo. Someone from Brat Norton's group told this other person that WSU KIM is the one who sent this photo. And in the photo, apparently you could see like a mutilated leg. And so this person was thinking that it was Ethan. Pictures of Ethan from that night. Kim was then showed the photo and not only was like defending herself, claiming that there's no way that she would send that to anybody. That picture didn't come from her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. But she was also following the narrative of what was being seen in this photo. I would never send that to anybody. That is just so horrible. Why would I ever do that to somebody by sending that to them? You know what the damn thing was? Because it was sent to me too. It was a still shot from the Banfield incident that was just blurry and flipped upside down. And Kim received this picture and followed the narrative of, oh my God, there's a A mutilated leg. It must be Ethan. Kim, stop what you're doing. Because you have now admitted that you have not seen these messages. There is no sworn statements, and nothing that you are telling us is actually inserted into a case file if there are no sworn statements. If there are no sworn statements, then how are you possibly going around on panels and telling people that it's a possibility you or your kid could be subpoenaed to testify? Honey, for what? Kim jumps on every single panel that talks about this case just in case she's got something to say, and it's amazing she always has something to say. She has a connection for everything. She knows details about things that have nothing to do with this case. If they get brought up in the case, suddenly she's got an entire story and a backstory for it, and she knows somebody who knows something, and it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I really was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt in the beginning. But things have gone just way too far, and her facade is waning. And a lot of people are starting to notice it. But her telling Melissa straight up, no, I never saw the messages, and my kid refused to sign a statement. Everything you've said is pointless. Congratulations for wasting so much of our time. That's it, you guys. See y'all.